Kite Pharma has quietly transformed from a CAR-T pioneer into something far more ambitious, a scalable, long-term cell therapy platform under Gilead's wing. Kite's commercial story runs through 3 therapies, Yescarta and Tecartus driving revenue today, and anito-cel waiting in the wings for a 2026 launch in multiple myeloma. Kite's strategy rests on 3 reinforcing pillars: scaling manufacturing, compressing cost per dose, and building out a next-generation in vivo CAR-T platform. Kite's 2025 growth is best described as steady rather than spectacular, a durable but measured expansion that falls short of the blockbuster expectations the market once had. To understand where Kite is headed, you have to go back to 2017 and the $11.9 billion deal that changed Gilead's future. It started with Gilead's hepatitis C revenues collapsing in 2016, which pushed the company to find new growth, leading to the $11.9 billion Kite acquisition and a full pivot into CAR-T and oncology. Gilead saw a best-in-class platform worth every dollar. Analysts saw an $180 per share bet on an unproven therapy. And at the time, both sides had a point. A patent lawsuit from Juno Therapeutics and Sloan Kettering produced a $1.2 billion judgment against Kite, but a federal appeals court overturned it, saving Yescarta's profitability and keeping Kite's future intact. By 2025, Kite contributes roughly 7% of Gilead's annual sales, a modest but steady oncology anchor that smooths out the ups and downs elsewhere in the portfolio. Fast forward to mid-2025, and Kite's once uncontested leadership in commercial cell therapy is facing its toughest challenge yet. The 4 main players in commercial CAR-T are Kite's Yescarta and Tecartus, J&J and Legend's Carvykti, and BMS's Breyanzi, with Carvykti posting a striking 136% year-over-year growth to $439 million in Q2 2025. Kite's combined franchise brought in $485 million in Q2 2025 versus Carvykti's $439 million, a gap that has narrowed sharply and signals a real shift in who leads the CAR-T market. Kite hits a median 27-day vein-to-vein time in real-world U.S. practice, about 2 weeks faster than most peers, and in fast-moving cancers, that speed can be the difference between life and death. The ZUMA-7 trial showed a 60.2% improvement in event-free survival over standard care in second-line large B-cell lymphoma, building a strong case for moving CAR-T into earlier lines of treatment. Kite's autologous model, custom-built from each patient's own cells, is being challenged by rivals like BMS, pushing into allogeneic, off-the-shelf therapy that sidesteps that complexity entirely. Now let's look under the hood at the financial mechanics driving Kite's manufacturing operations and how efficiency gains are feeding into margin expansion. Labor makes up roughly 71% of manufacturing costs, historically running $50,000 to $60,000 per dose. And Kite's closed system upgrades and automation push are directly targeting that number. Kite cut its manufacturing turnaround from 16 days to 14, while hitting a 96% success rate, pushing gross margins from around 70% at launch up to 75 to 79% today, with the 80 to 90% biologics benchmark now in sight. Rather than pocketing those efficiency gains, Gilead is reinvesting them, channeling margin expansion into the Interius in vivo platform and the anito-cel myeloma program. Gilead's plan to quadruple global manufacturing capacity by 2026 is directly tied to raising the bar for competitors. More infrastructure means higher throughput and quality standards that are very hard to match. CAR-T therapy is undergoing a quiet but significant shift, moving out of the hospital ward and into controlled outpatient settings, with big implications for access and commercial scale. In June 2025, the FDA removed REMS restrictions for CD19-directed CAR-Ts after reviewing over 25,000 patient records, cutting the required monitoring window from 30 days to 2 weeks and opening the door to much broader outpatient use. Retrospective data from 238 Yescarta patients showed no difference in efficacy or safety between inpatient and outpatient care, giving clinicians the confidence to roll out the outpatient model more widely. The outpatient shift works as a commercial multiplier for Kite, boosting treatment volumes, reaching community centers beyond major academic hospitals, and easing the burden on both patients and institutions. The most immediate growth catalyst for Kite is anito-cel, its next-generation BCMA-directed CAR-T targeting relapsed and refractory multiple myeloma. Anito-cel's early data are striking: a 97% overall response rate, a 62% complete response rate, and a cleaner safety profile with no delayed neurotoxicity, all pointing toward a potential 2026 U.S. launch with Arcellx. Imagine-1 has shown strong durability in late-line myeloma, while Imagine-3 is running in earlier lines to widen the patient population anito-cel can reach. Looking further ahead, Kite is making its boldest bet yet: in vivo T-cell reprogramming, a platform that could make traditional autologous manufacturing largely obsolete. The Interius acquisition brings a viral vector in vivo reprogramming platform, and the Pregene Alliance adds a second track to accelerate proof of concept, together forming Kite's two-pronged push into in vivo CAR-T. If in vivo approaches work, they could eliminate apheresis, ex vivo engineering, and lymphodepletion, slashing costs and making cell therapy deliverable at far more sites of care. Beyond anito-cel, Kite's pipeline stretches into next-generation autologous constructs, autoimmune diseases, and early-stage solid tumor programs. Kite 360 and Kite 753 are bicistronic CD19-CD20 constructs, and alongside a fast-in-time 3-day manufacturing process, they're designed for gentler safety profiles and outpatient-friendly delivery. Kite 363 is heading into Phase 1 trials for autoimmune and neuroinflammatory conditions, lupus, myasthenia gravis, and progressive MS, taking Kite's cell therapy expertise into chronic, non-oncology markets for the first time. Early glioblastoma signals from intrathecal delivery are encouraging, and the in vivo platform is seen as the key that could eventually turn those early CNS results into a real solid tumor program. Kite's moat has 3 reinforcing layers. Yescarta and Tecartus fund the machine, anito-cel grows the revenue stack, and in vivo work attacks the 2 hardest problems in cell therapy: where you can treat patients and what it costs to do it. As the newsletter puts it, in cell therapy, the company that masters scale, not just science, will shape the industry's next decade. The risks are real. Rival platforms advancing faster than expected, pricing pressure on legacy products, and any delays in anito-cel's data or approval could slow the momentum Kite has been carefully building.